Hey guys, how are you? How are you? How are you? Thank you guys for coming in. Thank you all for sharing. Thank you all for liking. This is going to be what I am calling a fireside chat. If you are on my email list and a part of my quote unquote subscriber family, then you would have gotten alerted. You would have been alerted to this training and others that I have coming up as we prepare for year end strategies. And one of the things that's so important about strategies, right? The strategies are to give us a blueprint, a plan, an action map, how to do whatever it is that we're doing. And I always say that the art of fundraising is a really strategic process, and you want to make sure that you are intentional, that you are deliberate in your actions so that you can get the expected and the desired results. So, today I'm going to go over the art of fundraising, the steps to a fully funded nonprofit. And why is this important? Is that as we go into 2021, it's important that you right now begin to lay out your plan and your strategies, putting things in place, systems in place. And we're going to talk about that during our time together. So I thought I would come in, go live, and just share with you some tips, some strategies, some steps, some things that you can begin to execute and implement right now to put your fundraising plan in place to end the year strong and then to go into 2021 with clarity and obviously with funding. We know that Giving Tuesday is right around the corner. So the things that I'm going to be sharing with you is going to help you be successful even in that endeavor going into the next couple of months. For those of you all who are new to me, I became acquainted with grant writing and the nonprofit world when I was in college. This is me in college. I was an intern at the Kingsport Housing Authority in Kingsport, Tennessee. It's where I was an intern. And this is where I wrote my very first grant. It was a grant that was a result of a class assignment. It was a class assignment, and I didn't know what I was doing. So for those of you who say, Jen, I don't know, I'm not clear. Listen, I was right there as a student. I had to write this grant for and to turn it in for my class assignment. Mr. Charles Spann, who at that time was the executive director, gave me a real grant. It was a federal grant. It was a drug and alcohol elimination grant. And I wrote that grant, and it was funded for $250,000. As an intern, I wrote for close to $2 million as a student in college, on my way to law school, living my best life, right? Not thinking about the nonprofit world, but it was something that I found that I was gifted in, that I was good at. And so this is where and how I started. Okay. I went on then to work for some of the largest organizations in the United States as an executive director, as a leader, as a trainer. And one of the things that I learned in working for these organizations is that I understood from a ground level perspective all the way up to leadership what it takes to generate revenue, what it takes to lead, what it takes to strategize for success in the nonprofit world. I went to work for WestCare. I worked for the local chapter of Girl Scouts and then was promoted to work for the national headquarters of Girl Scout, where my job as a grant expert and as a fundraising professional was to manage and to oversee close to 1,000 organizations nationally and internationally. These are some of the organizations that I've worked with over the years, and many people say to me, but Jen, we're just starting up. And I can tell you that my work in this area of fundraising on every level of the nonprofit realm is what's made me affectionately known as the nonprofit expert. One of the things that I learned is that those organizations that are just starting up, they don't fail or struggle because of money. They fail or struggle because they don't understand the philosophy, the systems, and the strategies that the larger organizations employ to raise money. And so I began teaching smaller nonprofits the secrets of the big nonprofits, right? I worked in them, I raised money in them, millions of dollars. I led them as the executive director myself. working with teams, working with board, working with community, starting in these organizations to put together plans and strategies. And so what I then began to do was to teach smaller nonprofits, the new nonprofits, those who are just starting up, or even those who desire to start, what it is that they need to do to lay in place to make sure that they're starting with the strategy and then implementing that strategy for success. All right. And I've been coaching and consulting since 2005, okay, since 2005. And overall, I've been in this business of the nonprofit realm for 30 some odd years, closer to 4 decades. I've been doing this work, all right? So working with thousands of organizations nationally and internationally, it is my calling. It is all that I've ever done. And so today I want to focus on fundraising strategy. Again, I've had to raise in my job. I want you all to understand this. In my 9 to 5 is fundraising. My 9 to 5 was raising money, writing grants, leading organizations. So when I'm speaking to you, from a place of not only do I talk about it, but I've done it. I've done it successfully. And so I want to share with you my fundraising strategy that has helped me. At one point, I had to raise as much as $1 million a year for one organization, all right, for one organization. And so I want to lay out for you the strategy that I have used and has been successful for me in raising hundreds of millions of dollars, and even in helping organizations that I consult with and putting together the plan and the strategy that they need to lay out their path for success as it relates to money. All right. I'm always saying that money is a fruit, right? Money is a fruit, not a root. Money is a fruit. And the root and what presents and produces the lack of money is, one, at the root, there is no strategic plan. There's no plan of what to do, how to do it, when to do it, who's involved in it, right? And then number two, not able to articulate impact to your donors, to your prospective donors, to connect with those who would give and could give. And then number three, the leader who is not clear, not sure of what to do in terms of leading 1 and 2. And as a result of that, there is no money. All right. So today we're going to talk about, at the root, how do you put together a strategy that is going to assist your organization to get the resources needed so that you can then pay for your programs and your strategies of your organization, and then not having to pay for it all out of your pocket. All right. So I want you guys to get a pen. I want you all to get some paper. I want you all to get in position to learn and to ask questions, right? I'm going to be asking questions. Thank you guys for coming in. Thank you so very much for sharing this information out. If you find that it's valuable to you, then I would appreciate if you would share it out. Maybe there's someone that you know in the nonprofit world that is struggling with funding. And particularly as we getting ready to close into this year end, this is why I'm doing this training right now, right here, for you. Okay, so the fundraising strategy as is defined. Your fundraising strategy, which again is critical. Nonprofit organizations do not have money because they don't have a strategy. They don't have a plan. All right, so what is that strategy? That means you have a goal. That means you have a clear mission statement. You've got a clear message of what it is that you're raising money for. And you have a method, right? A method of fundraising. And then you've got a timeline of when this is going to happen. All right. So now we're coming into your year end. We're talking about where and how individuals or organizations are raising money for their year-end efforts. So we're talking about the goal. How much money do you need to raise before the end of the year? What is your code? What is your mission? What is your message? What is your campaign? Making sure that you're very clear about that. And then what is the method by which you're going to fundraise, and then your timeline. All right. So now here we are at the end of the year. We've got a few more weeks here in the end of 2020. But what's important is that when you set your goal now for the end of the year, it sets you up to have resources going into 2021, right? So right now is the time. Right now is the time to make sure that your plan, your strategy is defined, and that you're clear about your goal. All right. So let's talk about the philosophy of fundraising? What is the philosophy of fundraising? All right. Fundraising as a philosophy is that you are engaging, you are inviting, you are asking people for money. All right. And so there's a lot of emotions that come with that, particularly if we're not comfortable talking about money, if we ourselves have some kind of personal negative relationship with money. Okay. But the philosophy around money fundraising is a conversation that is not centered around money. All right. A conversation that's not centered around money. Okay. Money is an emotional thing. It's not necessarily a money thing. All right. So the four realities of giving, or the four realities of why people give. All right. You're fundraising to people and you're wanting them to be excited, to be motivated, to be engaged. You want them to give, right? So what are the realities of giving? Giving is emotional. Okay. And people are inherently generous. Okay. They give to causes that they are emotional about. All right. Let me say that again. Giving is emotional, and people are inherently generous, and they are driven to give to organizations that they care about. Okay. So when you are approaching the philosophy of fundraising, it's not about money, it's about connecting the individuals to your organization that care about what you care about. All right? They care about what you care about. The next thing is giving makes people happy. All right? Giving makes people happy. So when you now are sharing and conveying to your donors and to your prospective donors what it is about what you do that's connected to their emotion and how they are made happy by supporting your organization, right? So you're not twisting arms, you're not begging, you're not compelling, you're not, overimposing. Giving is what people give to because they care about what they give to, right? The causes that they support, they're happy to support those causes. The causes that they support, they feel good about supporting those causes. And so you want to make sure that you are approaching this philosophy of fundraising in the right way, all right? And then giving is a social thing. Now, the blocks and the obstacles of raising money. Now, I've just said to you that giving is emotional and people give to what they care about and they feel good about giving. All right. So then what are the obstacles? What are the obstacles to your ability to raise money? What are your obstacles in your ability to raise money? Did you hear me say ability? Okay. Money is not the problem. Again, money is the fruit, not the root. At the root, along with not having a plan, not having a strategy, and the leader who is leading from a place of what? Scarcity. Scarcity. All right, that's an obstacle. That the leader believes that money is a scarce commodity. You don't have it, and you don't think anyone else in your community has it. So now you're operating from a place of scarcity. You are living and you are living and leading an organization from a place of economic uncertainty. You are planning to fail when you say there is not enough. There's not enough resources in my community. There's not enough people in my community who care about what I'm doing. The people that I know don't know anyone. And so you now are thinking and projecting that there is not enough time, that there's not enough of a network, that there's not enough of passion that other people would have for your cause. Again, I shared with you earlier that people give because of emotion, and people give to what they enjoy giving to. But if the leader is leading from a place of scarcity, and the doctrine of scarcity fosters an attitude of anxiety, of fear, and needless competitiveness among nonprofits. And it's so inaccurate and it's very harmful. So if you are leading from a place of scarcity, I don't see it, I don't understand it, and so it can't be there, I'm telling you, that's an obstacle to you raising money. And that's at the root of why you don't have money. Not because money is not available. Money is a fruit, right? And so if you produce the right things at the root of your plan, at the root of your strategy, it produces money. But if you are at the root saying, I don't believe that there's enough, I don't believe that there's enough people who would be passionate about what we do, you now have to overcome the obstacle of despair, all right? Of despair. And despair leads to inaction, right? I know I should be going live more. I know I should post more. I know that I should engage with my donors more. But because I'm in despair, you're the leader, because you are in despair, you now are not doing the things that are necessary to connect with your donors. That's an obstacle that produces the lack of money, all right? Despair is the mind's way of keeping a safe distance, of telling itself that nothing can be done. How many of you all right now have been sitting on an idea for weeks? Put weeks. How many of you all who have been sitting on an idea for months? Put months. How many of you who have been sitting on this idea of your nonprofit for years? Put years in the chat. All right. Thank you guys for coming in. Thank you all for sharing. Thank you all so much for inviting, and thank you guys for the hearts. Okay. Thank you so much for the hearts. So listen, if you now are operating from something because you are afraid that it cannot be done, you're not doing it, and that's resulting in the lack of money. All right. That's an obstacle. That's an obstacle. Despair of no one's going to help me. I don't know where to start. I tried. All of these things that lead to inaction. Okay, lead to inaction. I've been studying YouTube. I've been going on Google, but I just don't know. And so now you're frustrated. And on top of that, you may have scarcity mindset. And there is where we've got to overcome what? The fear of the unknown as another obstacle. The fear of the unknown. Now, listen, reaching out to people that you don't know, the people that you have not yet introduced yourself to, or the people that, you know, you're not sure what they think or what they believe. There is a fear of the unknown where it causes you to flee from spontaneity, right? Many of you are afraid to connect with your donors, and so you don't. You're afraid that they will think that you're hounding them, or that you're harassing them, or that they're tired of hearing from you. And it's because it's not known. That fear then leads to what? Fear of rejection. You know, you don't want to get turned down. You don't want to be disappointed. You don't want to, you know, you want to channel that fear of rejection into other things, right? So instead of building your donor file, instead of communicating with your funders, what do? You do a lot of events, right? You do a lot of events because you feel like you've got to give your donors something before they will give to you, because you're afraid that if you ask them for their support for your campaign, that they will say no. Okay. And that's an obstacle. Why is that an obstacle to raising money? Because you can't have an event every other day, but you can make an ask. You can connect with your donors. You can be intentional about putting your organization in front of them in a way that's meaningful to them. All right. That's meaningful to them. Now that we've gotten over the obstacles, and I want you guys to be really clear and honest with yourselves, okay? That if your organization is not raising money, if you are paying for everything out of your own pocket, can I ask you a question? How long are you going to do that? How long are you going to operate or try to grow your organization out of your own pocket? Aren't you tired of spending every dime that you have to do this organization and this program? Are you tired? Are you tired of feeling as if you're the only one that's passionate about this cause? The truth is this: you are a community-based organization. That means that you have a community of people who are passionate and committed. Again, giving is an emotional thing. They would be excited to give to you. Remember all those organizations that I raised millions of dollars for, that are still in existence, that are still operating, right? So they have to have money to run those buildings, to hire staff, to have the materials, the funds that they need, to be fully funded, to have their programs in place, to have their staff in place. That means that they are following a strategy and a system that works. You not having that plan, not having that strategy is why you're paying for everything out of your pocket. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Put yes if that makes sense. Okay. So if you're struggling and you're saying, Jen, I've been trying and now I'm in despair. I've been trying, but I'm afraid of rejection. I've been trying it all on my own, right? Are you ready to do something different? Are you ready to do what works? Are you ready to put together a plan and a strategy that you can implement? Now, let me say this: winging it is not a strategy. Looking at what other people do is not a strategy. A strategy is for your organization to share your message to your potential audience. Do you believe that with the right knowledge, that with the right information, with the right strategy, that your organization can raise money? Do you believe that? If you believe that, then I'm going to talk to you guys about how we're going to make that happen. If you're still unsure, then at the root, you're at that place where you're behind a barrier and you don't have to stay there. You absolutely don't. Okay. Organizations are raising enough money to be fully funded every single day. Every single day. And what are they doing? They're using this strategy. All right. Again, I've been doing this work now. I've been a professional fundraiser. This is not my hobby. This is what I do. And this is what I help organizations do as well. Put together a strategy that works for you. Okay. So let's talk about the contents of this strategy. The contents of the strategy is a mission statement, your current position, right? Where are you now? Your current revenue or your current income, links to organizational planning, right? What is your planning? What is your planning? Your current income, all right? Reviewing that, and then raising the money, and then reviewing and monitoring how well that's working, all right? So what's this mission statement? The mission statement is the summary of your organization, all right? It states clearly and articulately the purpose of your organization. And why is this important? This is important because the people that know you, they know you. But the people that don't know you, those are your perspective. Those are your potential. Those are people that could know you and then give you money as well. All right. So your fundraising strategy is not only to maintain where you are, but to help you grow from where you are. How do the people that don't know you yet, how do they get to come to know you? They got to know something about you. So having a clear mission statement up front is important. All right. And your mission statement talks about the purpose of your organization, what you provide, right? And the need that your organization meets, and the core values and intended outcomes. That's your mission statement. Now, introducing yourself to a potential funder, to a donor, being very clear about this mission statement is one way to connect with them, right? Again, people give because of an emotional reason, not because you ask, but because they connect with you. right? They connect with you. They're concerned also about what you're concerned about. How do they know if they're connected with you? How do they know that you share the mutual concern? That's where your mission statement can be very, very impactful. I want you guys to do this for me. Those of you guys who are in place, and those of you guys who put together a board, all right? Those of you guys who put together a board, I want you all to just, as a little test, right? See if I'm right. See if I'm right. Ask your board members what your mission statement is. Ask them, do you know what the mission statement is? I want you to look in the mirror and say, do I even know what my mission statement is? If you're not clear of what your mission statement is, if your board is not clear of what the mission statement is, then who the ding dang and the devil is talking about the mission statement out in the community to the people that you don't know? Where and who are you sharing this mission statement? Because we've got to connect with those people who would give. How else would they come to know what your organization is about? How else would they come to know if they could be connected emotionally to your organization? You got to tell them what the mission statement is, right? So that's the first part of the strategy. The strategy is having a very clear mission statement and being clear on how to articulate it. Okay, again, I say there's 3 reasons why organizations do not have money. Number 1, I don't have a strategic plan. And number 2, I'm not able to articulate impact. Are you able to articulate impact? Are you able to clearly articulate your mission statement? That's the very beginning. If we can't have that conversation about why your mission is important, then how do we have the conversation around why they should support your mission? Right? If they don't know your mission, they don't know the reason, the urgency, the need for your mission to exist. Okay? So this is where you start. The second thing is your current position, your current income. All right? Your current income. I want you to look at, are you now generating the money? Are you now in position? Do you have the money? Or do you have a clear goal of how much you need to operate? All right? What is your current financial position? You may know how much money is in the bank, but do you understand what you need to operate? Do you know what it is to have enough money for salaries? Do you understand what it is to have enough money to pay fully for your program and your operation? Your current position. Do you know where resources are going to come from in your current position? Do you know where your donors are? Do you know who your prospective donors are? Do you know the way to ask them? All right. These are ways and things that you've got to be clear about, because listen, if you're not clear about where you are currently, how are we going to know where to go? How do we know what you want to know? What have we done well? What has worked so we can do more of that? My current position, these are the things that we've done to get to where we are right now, and it's working. We need to do more of this, right? You've got to be able to assess your current position in order to fund strategically, in order to move strategically, in order to have a plan. I got to know, where am I now? And that will tell me how to move forward, okay? That will tell me how to move forward. You also then want to know, what are your links to organizational planning, right? What are your links? My links mean, who are your perspectives? Where are they? Who are the businesses? Who are the funders? Who are the major donors? What are the links to your organization? What about the board? The role of the volunteers? What is their role and their involvement in your organizational planning as it relates to fundraising? Are they making the ask? Are they in position to make the ask? Are they willing to make the connections to your organization, introducing people to you, speaking up on behalf of your organization? And let me say this, if you've got people on your board right now who is not interested or has the capacity or the ability to bring people to your organization, I want to know, why are they on the board? Now, that's a whole different training. That's a whole different conversation, but it's relevant as it relates to your ability to fundraise. Why? The more people who have the access, who have the capacity to make links, to bring relationships to the organization, then the more people that are helping you raise money. Otherwise, you're doing it all by yourself. Otherwise, you're doing it all by yourself. All right? Is this helping somebody? Is this helping somebody? Thank you guys for coming in. Thank you all for sharing. Thank you guys for liking. I hope that this is helpful. I hope that this is helpful. Okay. I'm not, I'm just here to give you the information and to just say to you, be encouraged that your current income does not have to be where you stay, right? Your current income does not have to be where you stay. Your current income says, this is where we are currently, and these are the areas where we need to grow. All right. So if you say, Jen, I've got, $5,000 in the bank, this is what we've been able to do or to generate currently, then you want to know, and this should be able to tell you how you want to grow. This should be able to tell you and show you how you want to grow. All right. How you want to grow. So your current income, is that enough? Your current income, what is your goal? Your current income lets you know how much or what is the most that you raised at any given time. Okay, that helps you identify a realistic next step. Your current income helps you generate the next step. Again, if you are paying for everything out of your pocket, then you are not really putting the organization in a position to have or to be fully funded. Okay, you cannot be your only contributor. You cannot be your only contributor in order to be fully funded. Unless you just, you could have been a private foundation, but most of you are a public organization. You have a community who would and could, if invited, give, right? And so now you want to know, how much money do you want to raise? That's the next step of the plan. This is my current income, and this is where we want to raise, how much money we want to raise, okay? These are our goals. This is our goal for the program. This is our goal for the end of the year. This is our goal for a new program that we're starting. And you can look at your current income. Now, listen, if you want to grow from $0 to $50,000, then we want to talk about that plan and that path. We want to talk about how many links are to our organization. We want to talk about how many people do we know. And that's what I help organizations do. I help organizations identify that path to links, that path to how to reach them. What do I say to them? What is the strategy that we need to bring awareness of who we are? Okay, because those links create more links, right? One person who knows 2 people, those 2 people know 4 people, those 4 people know 8 people. And as that network grows, right, then that grows your awareness. That grows, then your awareness grows to knowledge about who you are, what you do, and the relevance of your mission. With that growth comes people now who are invited and engaged to generate revenue. Where does money come from? Money comes from people who are excited and who are committed and connected to your organization. That's where money comes from, right? So raising money means that we are linked to, we have the access to, we have the ability to reach more people, right? Money comes from people, and people give because of emotional, because of relevance, because of what's important to them. It doesn't matter who you're asking, be it a foundation, be it a business person, be it an individual, everyone makes a decision. So a donor is a person that has an interest and connection to your cause. And how do they become connected to your cause? They know your mission. They believe in your mission. They're passionate about your mission, and they want to help you succeed. By succeeding, they know that you got to have resources. You need resources for materials. You need resources for supplies. You need resources for staff. You need resources to grow. So the issue is not money, okay? The issue is, are you making those connections? And that's a part of why it's important to have a plan, okay? Money doesn't come from, I started a nonprofit organization and now I need money. Okay, we know that you need money. It's a business. We know that you need money. I'm here to talk to you about and to show you how to generate the money, right? Where does money come from? It comes from people who understand your cause and are interested in helping you achieve your mission. Okay. And that comes from the links, the people that you know, the people that you could know, the people that have given to causes that are similar to yours, and you now are inviting them to give to you. All right. And then at the last part of the strategy is that you want to review and monitor, right? Any plan, there has to be an evaluation. Are you evaluating what you've done so far, and did it work? right? And if it didn't work, do you know why it didn't work? And if it did work, are you doing more of that, right? So you're reviewing and you're monitoring. You're doing the things that worked, do more of that. The things that didn't work, you know how then to pivot. You know then how to change course. You know then what was missing and what needs to then add it. Okay, that's the strategic plan. And so if in fact you are saying, Jen, I don't know, I know what we've tried, but I don't know how to write that. I don't know how to make that happen. That's what I'm here for, right? That's what I do, is help organizations make sure that they have a clear case for support, all right? Case for support. And that you understand that the case for support goes to the people who could support, right? Who could support. And your case for support also helps you and your entire organization accomplish this goal, that it's not just you. I know that for many of you, you're like, Jen, I'm doing this whole thing by myself. My board is not passionate. My board is not committed. And I would submit to you that they are looking for you to be that leader, right? They're looking for you to show them, to give them the tools, to give them the resources, to give them when I say resources, give them the mission statement. Give them the case for support, right? And then you want to make sure that they are operating within their strengths and their gifts as well, right? You don't want to tell people to do something that they just cannot do, okay? Which is why it's important to have good people on your team. And having myself and my team on your team is a great way to move past the stuck point, okay? And so that's what I want this training to give to you, that if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like, Jen, I don't know what to do next, I don't know where to begin, I'm telling you right now where to begin. Are you guys taking notes? Are you guys taking notes? Okay, we're going to start right here. We're going to do a case for support. Okay, and I want you guys to write these things down. All right, thank you guys for coming in. Thank you all for sharing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing and for liking this training. All right. I decided about 2 weeks ago that I was going to do what I call a fireside chat. All right. So this is my chat on this Wednesday. I love teaching. I love helping organizations, and I love seeing you win. And my cause and my purpose is to help organizations to be fully funded, right? We're going into 2021, and this is now a pivotal time where organizations who have a good case, a good cause, and a good plan, they're going to raise the money. Organizations are raising lots of money right now. And if you're not, I submit to you, it's because you don't have a plan. True or false? True or false, right? I did a post a couple of days ago, and I said, do you have a strategic plan? There was more that said no. The majority of people say no. And I say to you that out of 100 organizations, 83 out of 100 do not have a plan. All right. You're in the 83 if you don't have a plan. And without a plan, you don't have any money. Not because there is no money, but because you don't have a plan and a strategy to get it. Okay. And that's what that's what I'm here to help you with today. All right. So you guys got your pen and paper? That was a long commercial for you to get your pen and paper. All right. We're ready? The first thing that you guys got to do is do a case for support. If you're not sure what that looks like, then this is what it is, okay? You want to know who your organization is. Who is your organization? When did you start? Why did you start? What is it that your organization, and who is it that you serve, all right? And what have you accomplished? What have you accomplished over this past year or year to date? These are the things that you want to begin to talk about to your donors, to your funders, and you want to help your board with this information. If you guys wrote these questions down and gave this to your board, now they're better prepared and equipped to go out into the community and have conversations with those that they're linked to, right, about your organization. For many of them, I believe that they're like, I don't know what to say. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I know what you do, and I know what I do as a board member, but I don't really know how to connect with with their connections. They have to have something to say. So answer these questions for them and give it to them. And now they're equipped. They're able to talk about what the organization has accomplished. They're able to talk about how many people you all have served from January to date. They're able to say what the vision for the organization is, and that going into 2021, how you're going to grow or how you're going to expand your program. The question number 4 is why should the donor care about the work of your organization? Again, this is the connection part. They understand the mission and what's at stake, and why there is such a need and how your organization is addressing that need. Why should they care, right? If they're a business person, why and how does your organization affect business? If they are a person who is interested in causes like yours, or who have supported organizations like yours, then why should they care? You want to talk about how your organization is different, and how you are working in partnership and collaboration with others, or how you are filling a void that is not currently being filled right now. Why should they care? Because you are meeting a need in the community. And so you want to be able to show how it impacts them. All right. You are impacting the people who are in your program, but you're also impacting the businesses, the community at large. All right. And how can the prospective donor contribute to your cause or organization? Now, listen, your board member said you can go on our website. You can give through whatever Cash App system that you have. Answering these questions can really position them to have a more confident conversation with those people that they have a reach or relationships with in the community. All right. So answer these questions, and it will tell you, have we thought about this? Do we know how to clearly articulate this? Again, 3 reasons that organizations do not have money. It has nothing to do with money. Money is a fruit. At the root, there are not enough people who's talking about your organization. There's not enough connection being made with those who have the ability, who have the resources, about what your organization can accomplish or have accomplished, okay? There is no clear description of your vision and how your vision impacts the community in the community, all right? So the people that would and could give to your organization, they're in your community, right? They're in the businesses, they're in the schools, they're everywhere. People ask me all the time, Jen, where do I find donors? Where can I find donors? Anyone has the potential to become a donor. Anyone should be given the opportunity to participate or to support a cause of credibility and impact. All right. So my question to you is, how many people are you talking to? How many people know about your vision? Okay. And if you want to know how to get more donors, means more people who know about you. More money comes from more people knowing about you and inviting to give, right? That's where more money comes from, okay? So this is where you begin in putting together that cause. Why do you need a case for support? It is the foundation for all donor communications. Let me say that again, all right? It is the foundation for all donor communications. The making the introduction. Hello, my name is. Our organization's mission is this. What do you know about our organization? Have you heard about our organization? Can I share with you what we've been able to accomplish thus far, right? So you now are making that case for support. They don't give because you put up a post. They don't give because you made the ask. They want to know, what is it that you are accomplishing? Okay? It is a valuable resource to everyone who is soliciting donations for your organization. This case of support, you give it and update it every 6 months. Every 6 months to your board member, and now you've equipped them. You've given them the ability. You've given them the tools. You've given them a resource that they can carry with them, right? Put it on a note card. Put it on an index card, right? That they put it in bullet points. They now have something that they can say to the individuals, the businesses that they are connected to, all right? So the case of support is also a resource document for proposals and grant applications. As you guys know, I started in this world of nonprofits as a student, and I learned when I wrote grants, and I was a grant writer for 8 years. For 8 years, that's all I did was write grants. Okay, that's all I did was write grants. I moved from being a grant writer to then being a person who dealt with donors. And one of the things that I learned was about the importance of telling a story, right? The importance of telling the story of what we do, why what we do is important, the impact of what we do, and how much that costs. All of that's the grant application. That whole thing right there that I just said is the grant application. And I realized that when I went to start doing donor relations and donor cultivation, it was the same conversation. The donors wanted to know, what did we do, right? Particularly for those who don't know what we do, right? The people who are giving to your organization, they're never going to be in your program. Many of them may never come to your organization, but why would they give? Because they believe in the impact of your work. So that document, that resource, that in this case for support, really outlines what the donor wants to know. They want to know, what are you doing? Why is it important? They want to know the impact of what your program is achieving. And they want to know, how much does it cost? What do you want from them? How much do you need, right? 98% of your donors give because of impact. Put that in the chat, 98%. Everybody put 98%, 98%, 98%. 98% of your donors give because of impact. And they give with excitement. Why? Because they know that they're giving to something that's going to be impactful. Okay, they're giving and they're excited to give. They want to give because they know that through your organization, they're making a difference. All right. So 98% of your donors give because of impact. Putting that impact in your case for support when you're having conversations with people who don't know who you are, but could become interested in what you do if they understood what you do, right? That's the case for support. All right. So this is now the cultivation strategy. Now that you have had the case for a support conversation, right? Now we want to begin to pull them in. Now, it's not like you meet a person in the elevator and then you tell them what you do and then you ask them for $1,000, right? That's not how it works. However, you have a way and a system that my team and I show you how to do. How do you connect with these individuals that you have met, right? You all have long lists of people that you've met at marketing events or networking events or in meetings or in the community. And you now want to invite, engage, inspire, find out what they know about your organization, have this case for support conversation. And then once they've given to your organization once, right? Many of you all have people who have given, they've come to your events, they've purchased something from you, they've participated in something that you've had, but then there's been these long gaps and lulls between the next ask or between their next gift. In order for your organization to be fully funded, all right? Put fully funded, hashtag fully funded. Hashtag fully funded in the chat. Fully funded, okay? Fully funded means that you have fundraising systems and strategies where you've got money coming into your organization each and every day. Now, for those of you who are battling with the obstacle of scarcity, obstacle of despair, obstacle of I don't know what to do first, obstacle of of confusion, then you're sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, can I really be fully funded? Can my nonprofit really be fully funded? You're still at that obstacle. I'm wanting to help you get over that obstacle because let me tell you what the truth is. Can I tell you what the truth is? The truth is this, that the nonprofit world, the nonprofit business, the nonprofit industry is the third largest employer. The third largest employer behind retail and technology. Trillions of dollars come into the nonprofit world. Trillions with a T. Trillions of dollars come into the nonprofit world. Why? Because we do a work that businesses cannot do. We do a work that government cannot do, right? And because of our work, those that give to our organizations get a tax benefit, right? So they don't give because of that tax benefit. However, they give because they are interested, they are passionate, and they see the value in what we do. They just happen to also get a tax benefit. Why? Because the government cannot do it all. Businesses cannot do it all. So our organizations come as an asset to the community to do a work that businesses and government cannot do. You are an asset. You are an asset to the community. All right. Your mission changes lives and improves the community, not just the people that you serve. Okay. So those people who have given to your organization at one point or another, right, should be cultivated, should be invited, should be inspired to continue to give to something that they are interested in. Again, people give because it's an emotional thing. Okay. So you want to connect with them. You want to communicate with them. You want to cultivate them in the right way. Right now, as we're going into Giving Tuesday and the season of giving, I want you to examine, what is my cultivation strategy between now and the end of the year? Where and how are we going to, one, communicate with your donors? This is a cultivation strategy, right? That now you begin to do the cultivation work so that when it comes time for Giving Tuesday, you don't have to prime the pump from zero, right? Now you've got to go back and find out all the emails and figure out who they are and why did they come to the organization and how do they come to give. That right now you can continue to do this conversation and communication work with your prospective donors. How often should you be communicating with your prospective donors? At least once a week. I say more, but at least once a week. All right? At least once a week. And what are you communicating, Jen? You're talking about what you've done. You're talking about what you plan to do. You talk about testimonials. You're sharing articles, all kinds of ways to communicate. Communicate why your organization is, how you're using the resource, how you're being a change agent in the community, how lives are being changed and impacted by the work that you do. That's cultivation, all right? Look at what you're doing right now. If you do not have any money, and this is a key part of your fundraising strategy, is cultivation. This is why you don't have any money. All right. And this is where our organization helps with the cultivation strategy, right? We do the communication work for you. So now that you've got you've got your communicating with your donors, right, as a cultivation strategy, and make your communications all about them, not about you. Your communications is all about them, all right? Your donors like to hear about the great work that you do, but nobody wants to get the constant, we do this, we do that, we do that. Instead, you want to make it about them. Talk about how the good work that you've been able to accomplish is because of their support, right? Profile a donor every now and then. Tell about their story. Reach out to your donors in a way of communication to seek their advice, right? Ask them questions. What do they know about your organization? What do they think about your new program? Make it about them. Okay. And then you want to practice the art of the thank you. This is all part of your cultivation strategy. Practice the art of the thank you. I always say that we thank our donors 7 different ways, right? Thank our donors. Now we know that when they give one contribution, we say thank you, and that's polite and that's courteous. And yeah, everybody should receive a thank you. But over and above that, people will give you more because of a thank you than they will because of an ask. I know it's the truth, right? I know it's the truth. So if you practice the art of the thank you, then you won't have to make so many asks. Okay, 7 different ways. You could do it through an email, you could do it through a postcard, you could do it through a phone call, you could do it through a DM, all kinds of ways that you could thank your donors, right? Your board member could write a thank you. Somebody in your program could write your donors a thank you, thanking them for supporting the organization that's changing their lives, right? It's all about them, okay? And then you want to acknowledge all types of donors, acknowledge all of your donors. All right. Those that give in kind, those that volunteer, those that give a gift. Every gift is significant, no matter how much it is. All right. And then you want to show all of them the impact. And how do you do this, Jen? I know people who are saying, oh my God, Jen, that takes so much time. Listen, it takes more time to not have this plan in place than it does to do this. Okay. And I show my leaders how if they spent 30 minutes a day, they could do this easily. Okay. And again, I've been the executive director. I know what it is to wear all the hats. I know what it is that you've got to run the organization, run the board, run the community, fundraise, put the program in place, deal with the budget, do the communications. I've done it. I've done it. Okay. I've done it. I've held every single position in the nonprofit. I've done it. I've done it. So I understand what it takes to get it done and to get it done right. And this has been my profession. This has been my ministry. This has been my calling. This is my purpose, is to help new and startup organizations have the strategies that they need so that they can start, so that they can scale, and they can sustain their organizations. How does that happen? You've got to have a strategy. I was talking to a person the other day who said, Jim, I started my nonprofit organization, but it didn't even occur to me to think about how I was going to raise money for it. I thought I was going to get a grant. I didn't know that after or in addition to that grant, what else do I need to sustain my organization? All right. So I want you all to listen to me, hear me, and then evaluate for yourself, right? Evaluate for yourself. Where are you needing help today? If you were to look at where you are today, how many of you today are saying, you know what? I don't have a strategy. I have not been intentional or deliberate or consistent. If you recognize that today, you can make a change today, right? That's simple. All right, so let's go back to this cultivation strategy. So you want to acknowledge all types of donors and you want to show them the impact. How do you show them the impact, Jen? You can show them the impact through testimonials. You can show them the impact through personal story. You could show them the impact through photos, all kinds of ways to show impact, right? But it's about them. So you want to let them know what their money has helped you to do. It justifies it. It excites them. Again, people give because of emotion. So you want to show them the impact, right? You want to show them how they, through your organization, have accomplished something that's important to them. All right. And then you want to create opportunities for personal interaction and engagement. The donors who are more closely connected to your organization give more. More closely connected to your organization give more. So giving them opportunities to give, to volunteer, to come and see your organization up close, this is a great way to keep them connected to your organization. All right. So there are several different fundraising strategies. All right. You approach each of these streams or avenues of fundraising differently. All right. So within your strategic plan, you are planning for streams of revenue to come from these different areas, from your corporations, from peer-to-peer, from grants, from events, from individuals, from major gifts. Okay. So you're looking for and planning for revenue to come in from these different areas, right? So you're able to say, what are our business opportunities? What are our peer-to-peer opportunities? What are our grant opportunities? What are our event opportunities? What are our individual opportunities? What are our major donor opportunities? And then when you're talking about individuals, you're also talking about monthly donors. You're talking about regular donors. You could even be talking about online giving, right? Online giving should be a part of your budget expectation, that your money is given through online, okay? So making sure that you understand that when you approach a corporation, you're not saying the same thing to the corporation that you would be saying to the person who attended your event. Nor are you saying exactly the same thing when you are approaching a major donor, but you understand how to approach them. You understand what's relevant in that conversation, and based upon how to make those connections, right, through all of these revenue options, okay? Hashtag options. Isn't it wonderful that you have options, right? You have options. There's not one stream of revenue, but these are all streams of revenue. All streams of revenue. That in order for your organization to be fully funded, you've got to be operating in all streams of revenue, right? So where are you right now focusing on your funding? Looking at this list, right? My team and I, we come up with your corporate list. We come up with the letters, the sponsorship letters. We come up with the letters to send to your donors to make the introduction.